Hello, everyone. Mike here. And to start out the new year, I wanted to get things on kind of a positive note. Let's face it, in the internet wrestling community, there is a lot of complaining, a lot of anger, and it just seems like all we see from anybody is just negativity. And granted, some of that negativity is warranted, but I really feel like that shouldn't be all we're seeing. It makes it seem like, why do people even watch wrestling if all they're going to do is complain? So I decided, why not start the year off on a bit of a positive note and talk about some things that I like in pro wrestling. And there are a lot of things I could discuss, but I'm going to start a little bit simpler. I'm just going to talk about things I like about Monday Night Raw. And there's no particular order to this. This is just a list of some things that I like about Monday Night Raw. And I'm going to start right off with Alpha Academy. One of the things I like about these guys is not only are they funny and entertaining, but you get great wrestling too. We've got to start with Akira Tozawa, who is very entertaining. I'm glad to see him finally getting stuff to do. I've heard people saying, oh, it's a shame that they're just making him a joke. The guy's getting television time. What was he doing before this? Literally nothing. And it's not like he doesn't still get to showcase what he can do. You look at the matches he's having, he's still getting to show his ability. At the same time, being really funny. Likewise, Otis, hilarious, but also proving to be a really good wrestler, especially for his size. Otis kind of has that Tim Burton penguin shape to him. But then you see him moving around the ring really well, doing the caterpillar. Anyone who's watched those Celtic Warrior workouts, the one with him and Chad, you see just the amazing strength he has. Otis is really incredible. Maxine, I think Maxine's an interesting character, and the stories they tell of her learning from Chad are interesting stories. Though, admittedly, in ring, she needs a lot of work. I don't think she's in some position where it's like, oh, it's hopeless, get rid of her. No. I think they tried to push her into a match by herself way, way too early. She needs a lot of work. But I think that she can get better. And I hope she does. Then there's Chad. Chad Gable, one of my favorite wrestlers in the WWE right now. And I'm kind of amazed they haven't pushed him higher. I mean, he's entertaining, he's funny, he's charismatic, and he is an amazing wrestler. And it surprises me that he's not being built like the next Kurt Angle, because there's so many comparisons you could make there. He did get his big moment when he fought for the Intercontinental title, but since then he's just kind of fallen, down into just being regularly appearing, but not really doing much. But that doesn't change the fact that I just love seeing him out there every week. He is so entertaining, both in the ring and in segments. Next, non-affiliated authority figures. Now, this technically could be a Raw and SmackDown thing, but I have gotten so tired of the heel authority figure. It's way too played out, and it's just irritating. On the other hand, generic authority figures are not exactly great either. You look at things like Jack Tunney, and yes, there is some entertainment to be found, in the "it is my decisions" and furthermores of Jack Tunney. But you got people like Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, who mostly seem to be face, but are really more just unaffiliated. they tend to ride more against the heels because the heels are the ones that are causing the problems. But at the same time, they don't just give the baby faces anything they want. They don't favor the baby faces over the heels. They're, completely unbiased. And I like that. It gives you somebody who is in charge, who makes decisions, but they're not letting any kind of bias affect those decisions. So I really like having these non affiliated authority figures. And we got the CM Punk versus Seth Rollins feud. Now, I'll be honest, neither of them really do much for me. I think both of them are very good in ring, on the mic. It isn't a matter of I don't care for them because there's something wrong with them. It's just some people just don't do it for you. These two, neither one of them really do it for me. But this storyline that they're building up, which almost assuredly is going to culminate at WrestleMania, this has been a very good story already. I'm really enjoying because you can see both sides. You can see where Punk's coming from, and at the same time, you can see where Seth's coming from. I am interested in what some of the promos are going to be like. Not looking forward to what the crowds are going to be like because let's face it, CM Punk is one of those who could say, hey, look, an envelope. And the crowds will start going crazy. Envelope, envelope, envelope. To be honest, it's kind of annoying and you guys aren't cool. But I digress. I do think this is going to be a very interesting story and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And how about Cody Rhodes? Growing up, Dusty was one of my all-time favorites. I loved Dusty Rhodes. And I like what they've been doing with Cody. I know a lot of people don't care for it. A lot of people don't like his character. He comes off like your kind of straight white meat babyface in a way to some people, which personally, I don't have a problem with that. And again, this is just things I personally like. At the same time, I actually kind of enjoy the story that they're telling. It's kind of something you'd see in a movie, except, stretched out longer. You got your hero going to avenge their father. In this case, Cody looking to do the thing his father never managed to do, win the WWE title. He faces opposition. He loses his first big battle. But then he has to move forward. He has to go through all these challenges to get himself back up to the top, which Cody has been doing with the Brock Lesnar stuff and, all this leading up to what is assumedly going to be him facing Roman and finally taking the title off of him. And I'm enjoying the story. All right. Dirty Dom. It amazes me how many people can't seem to tell the difference between a person and the character. Because the number of people that seem to hate Dominic the person because of how he acts on the show is astounding. It's like, guys, it's not real. He's not really like that. You don't have to, get so mad at the real person for things his character does. And I feel he has grown so much, both as a character and in the ring. His in-ring work, I think, has really improved over the past year. And he has so found his niche as that hateable, irritating little jerk. He gets so much heat. He may be one of the biggest heat magnets in the WWE right now. And I love it. I know there's all the stuff about, they're just piping in the booze. I'll be honest, I've been to the shows where he's come out and he's tried to talk, and it's like all over. It is the people. Maybe they're doing a little bit of crowd sweetening, but it is majority of the people. If you've been there live, you can hear it. Drew McIntyre's storyline currently. This is pretty good. What I like about it is that he's not so much a face or a heel. A lot of the things he says make sense. But at the same time, in some cases, it comes off like he's whining and complaining. And the way he's responding to criticism is not necessarily the best. But I love that the character is more than just black and white. You know, he's not just a good guy or a bad guy. He's a guy who feels he's been wronged. You can see the justification, but you got to question the methods. The Intercontinental title mattering. And this could be said for a number of the titles now, but one of the things I love about Triple H taking over is the titles mean something. People in the past have said, well, the titles are just props. And it's like, yes, but they are the most important prop. I mean, it'd be like taking Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and saying, well, the Cup of Christ in that is just a prop. Yes, it is a prop, but it is an extremely important prop to the story. Likewise, the titles should be treated like the most important prop in this story. And they've been doing a really good job with that. And I think one of the best examples of it has been Gunther with the Intercontinental title. His matches always matter. He puts on a great match with almost anybody he faces. And it's almost never a case of this person wants a title shot. Okay, you get a title shot. No, it's okay, this group of people all want a shot. They have to earn it. And once somebody earns it, then they can have their shot. And I like that. It makes it feel important. That, you know, it shouldn't be where just anybody can just have a chance just because they want it. A title shot should be earned. And it makes the titles feel more important. So, yeah, I'm very, very pleased with what they've been doing with the Intercontinental title and the majority of the titles in the WWE. And the last thing I have on here for Raw is Rhea Ripley. Rhea is so entertaining. I do wish her run as champion was a little better, but that's not on her. Most of the people they've had challenging her, they've not really built enough to make it viable that they're going to take the title off her, which makes the matches seem less exciting and thus makes her title reign feel lesser. But really, again, that's not her fault. When Rhea's out there, though, she is so entertaining. She's a great talker, puts on great matches. And I love the whole thing of her. When she started out, she tried to look like what she thought they wanted. And now she's just being who she is. Like that. And anybody that's seen some like fan cams of her behind the scenes, like going down to the floor, you know, after being hit, and while selling, she'll grab the shoelace of somebody in the crowd and just untie their shoe. Or, you know, she'll scold a fan for touching her hand, you know, when she's on the floor. And just some of the goofball things she does when people aren't watching. is hilarious, and I get a kick out of Rhea. That's all I've got on Raw. Now, my not mentioning specific things is not to say that I don't like those particular things. It's just those aren't the things that really stand out to me as things that I really enjoy. But like Judgment Day, I like it. R-Truth, love him. There's a lot of other things I like in the WWE. Just because I don't mention them here doesn't mean I don't like them. In the future, I'll be looking at NXT and SmackDown, and then probably getting into more like details. Like I'll do a video on things I like about Asuka, or things I like about a particular pay-per-view. Things like that. But that's all I've got on this one. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. That does a lot to help me out. And until next time.